Everyone is extremely excited about the proposal that just passed recently to stop Terra Luna Classic Reminting, but is Terra Luna Classic Reminting really done forever? For this all to make sense, we have to understand what this proposal actually accomplishes. So let's talk about that. Well, in this proposal, they set the reward policy, as you can see right above me here, to 1.0 or 100%. Now, essentially, this one, and you probably already know this sets it so that it's 100% goes to the burn, 0% remit. Sounds pretty simple, right? But what people are missing is the detail that this is a parameter change proposal. Now, this is a small but important distinction. This means that we're changing the parameter to 1.0, but we've had other parameter changes in the past change things. And let me show you exactly what I mean, and maybe this will make a little bit more sense here. When we look back all the way back 4 months ago to proposal 4661, we can see something very interesting here. We have, again, that reward policy implemented. This was the first time reward policy was really set up. This was done by Ed Kim. As you can see, if you click here, we can see that this is an Ed Kim proposal, but this was the original one that set the reminting to essentially 0% and set up the burn, but it set up the functionality for this to become possible. And so this set it so then we had 100% burn, 0% remit. Okay. Then we had a parameter change come in, and you guys are all familiar with this, where we set up the tax rate down to 0.2% from 1.2, and we set aside 10% of the tax revenue, or essentially set up the reminting or really utilize the reminting function. This went ahead and changed the reward policy from 1 to 0.9. Well, right now we just set it to 1, and a lot of people are thinking, okay, it's done, we never have to worry about this again, but it's really important for us to become aware of what could happen in the future. The proposal changed the parameters, but it doesn't get rid of the reward policy function. So in the future, someone else could put in a proposal for a parameter change to set that reward policy back to a 50-50. They could go back to a 50% remit, 50% burn. And this is important to understand because this is a function that is not going away. And a lot of people are thinking, well, Ed Kim created a proposal where he's going to rework the whole thing so we don't have to worry about it. But I actually talked to Zardar and asked him, why don't you just remove the reward policy? And he made it very clear that the intention is to leave this function. That way in the future, they could utilize it. So they want to set it up to this current state where you have 0% reminting off that function. That way, when they rework everything, they do it so then 50% of the tax value gets sent to the community pool instead of the current system where it's everything gets reminted and you have all this mess that's going on. They're reworking that whole thing, but they're leaving this function in. That way they have the options in the future to re-implement this if they desire. And so while just a couple days ago here, we had our last remint according to the previous proposal, now we can expect no remints going forward unless we get a parameter change proposal. And this is where we need to stay aware and stay on the lookout. It's not like we're totally in the clear. We're never going to have remints again. It's all burns from here. As it stands right now with the way the proposal works, that is correct. However, people could go in and change this. And something we need to be aware of and something maybe we need to consider. Do we want to actually remove this reward policy function altogether? That way we can't have someone go in, implement a new proposal, and change it back to add remints back in the future? This is a difficult question for us to answer, but it's something we really need to consider as a community if we are so strongly against remints at all. I mean, the past proposal that just passed to remove remints passed by 95% support. If we are so unified against remints, should we just remove this function altogether that we don't have to worry about it ever again? Or do we want to leave it in the future just in case we change our minds? Well, let me know in the comments down below. What do you guys think about this? What is the proper action for us to take going forward here? That way we can protect ourselves and really follow the vision for what we want. Because if we don't want remints ever again, there's no point in keeping this functionality, and we might as well make sure that it gets removed. If we maybe want to go back to remints in the future, then hey, yeah, maybe it does make sense to keep this feature for the future. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, and also check out this video up here to learn more about the potential of Terra Luna Classic.